bit of AEW, not a lot. Just enough to remind me why I don't watch it. Oh, this is already funny. Just the headline. The list of moves and actions that are now banned from AEW or need to be approved by the company.
Maybe that's why Nash is pissed off, because he went for Brock and Austin and not try to duplicate him.
Well, it'd be easier to duplicate him. You only have to learn 5 moves.
Like you said, and we've all been saying, Tony Khan, you need a hierarchy, and he gets one, and then we make fun of it.
Because he's sitting back there talking about the Brock match, and finally we had a wrestling match. Finally we got 2 guys telling a story. They weren't outside in the ring the whole time. One of them
was he not watching the same match as we were?
Yeah, those games, man, I would say, like, for me, like, the best ones, I would say, are, like, the ones where they try to get a certain, like, time.
This is my entire IT team right here on screen. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Indeed, it is time to chat. It is Wrestle Time, WrestleChat, back here on the Nation Network. And it is 2 weeks now into this Netflix era, if you want to call it that. And we're going to talk about it. But before we can do that, you know me, I don't like to do things by myself. I get lonely. It's a lonely job. So I'm going to join me right now here live in the studio, the one, the only, you know him, J-Rocks. Are you turned? I don't hear your audio. It was on earlier. I cannot hear the words that are coming out of your mouth. Damn it. I swear to God, guys, we just did a test before we went on and he was working. It shows that your mic's off.
Okay.
There it is. I hear breathing. Well,
okay.
Now it went away. It comes and goes here. Like I'm hearing noise now a little bit.
Yes. Yes.
Now I hear you.
Okay.
Do you have a loose wire?
I have a lot of loose wires, but I didn't do anything.
Specifically with the microphone.
No, everything's plugged in. I don't know what its issue was.
Yeah, it's a you thing.
It is.
Oh, my goodness. It's a fun day to be a wrestling fan, isn't it? Prime time. Welcome aboard. The clown's around. Hey, what's happening? All right, let's see what we got here. What is that shit? Visiting Combat Kingdom LTTV. Oh, yes, I did pop in on that. Checking out our boy Blaze. Senor McCoy. Indeed. Alrighty then. You remember that guy? You ever see the guy back in the early YouTube days that did a lot of wrestling chat? His name was Wrestling Jesus.
No, I never saw any of his stuff.
I don't think he's around anymore, but he was a Canadian dude, so he had the accent. He had very similar, facial hair like yours, and he wore one of those knit caps, kind of like Cooper had in Jaws.
Oh, all right.
And he started every stream as soon as he got on. It was like, "All righty then." That was like his hook. So every time I hear myself saying that, I always think back to that. All right. So it is 2 weeks of Netflix under the belt. I want to thank the fine folks over at Daily Motion that allow me to watch it free of charge because I don't see it live, but I see it like 8 hours later, which is when I was watching it anyway.
Right.
I never watched it live, so I could fast forward through shit. So I'm absolutely in the same position I was always in. I'm not paying for it, and I'm getting to watch it. And it's really high quality streams as long as you wait. If you try to live stream it through the same thing, it was a nightmare.
Kind of spotty.
Oh, not even. It was just a friggin'. It was unwatchable. It dropped constantly, and there were all kinds of weird pop-up shits going on. So I just stuck a fork in that and said no. And then, I woke up at 3 a.m. and I was like, let's see. And then the stream is all backed up and everything. And it's nice and clean and highly produced. And it looked awesome. So that's how I watch it now. I wake up around 3 or 4 in before work. I'd go ahead and fast forward the shit I don't want to watch, just like I did before. So that all said, I mean, I don't know about week 1. There's nothing special about it. It did nothing to promote the matches coming up. It didn't further storylines or advance anything. You did wrap up a few hundred things here and there, I guess. There was not a single match that stood out to me that made me say that was a hell of a match. I mean, I'm trying to think what is going to be the memorable thing about week 1 on Netflix after all that build up.
Exactly.
Oh, you got nothing either. Okay.
Right.
I mean, honestly, I think
no, you're right because all for me, all last week was let's pull a Tony Khan, put on matches people want to see to draw in viewers. That was it. Like you said, had nothing to do with really any kind of storylines or anything like that. Now, this week, in my opinion, was a Raw show because we got build up to Royal Rumble. We got build up for things. We got the conclusion of the Women's Intercontinental Tournament. So tonight or last night was a Raw show.
Yeah, I thought it was a definitely better show than the debut, which is kind of sad to say that. But yeah, I thought it was better. I think one of the things that I heard a lot of people talking about, and I'm in the boat of I don't understand what the problem is, but the new ring with all the logos and advertisements, people are like, oh my God, they've been doing this in Mexico for fucking ever.
Japan too.
I was just going to say, Japan does the same shit.
Yep.
I mean, boxing has done this forever.
And to be honest,
MMA does it.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to say. You had to expect it for one, who owns them? TKO, Endeavor. So you had to see it coming. To me, I don't pay attention to it that much. I'm watching the wrestling. I'm not looking at, oh, look, there's a Snickers logo here. I don't care.
So here's a trivia question for you. Then we're going to see how observant you are. Which logo wasn't there in week 2 that was there in week 1?
It was the Snickers, wasn't it?
Nope, that's still there.
Oh, you're saying they switched last week?
I'm saying this week's ring had one less logo than the week before.
Oh, well, see, again, I wasn't paying attention to the ring, so I couldn't tell you which one's missing.
It would be Fortnite.
Ooh.
Fortnite was not there this week, so I'm not sure if that was just a one-off or whatever. There is one logo that is still there that I see, however, and that is for the Real American Beer Man. Picked up a case more of that shit because I like it. As I was trying to say, that's one of the things I want to talk about. Might as well be there now. The other thing a lot of people are talking about is Hulk Hogan was getting booed out of the building.
Right.
Who in the actual fuck thought it was a good idea to bring Hogan out in Los Angeles? That is the bluest of blue states.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, I couldn't really get behind that whole logic of he got booed because of his political. Taker's right there as much of a Republican as Hogan is, and he's been vocal about it. I mean, he's been on Fox News quite a bit with Glenn. So
did Taker do a full-on promo at the RNC? in character?
I guess not. But
No, he didn't.
I mean,
there's absolutely no way you're going to convince me that he got the response in Madison Square Garden that he got a month ago, and that every place you go where he does autograph signings, whether it's at his beach shop or whatever, the Hogan's Beach House here in Orlando, he's got his nightclub thing out in Cocoa area, or not Cocoa, but Tampa, St. Pete, and the crowds are there week after week after week. And I mentioned this to Jay already. For those of you, if you're trying to find this beer, then what you need to do is go on their website, realamericanbeer.com, and there's a little finder thing. You just click on it, put your zip code in, and it'll show you the closest locations that are carrying the beer.
Supposed to be.
And then have a whole bunch of merch after that, T-shirts, koozies, what have yous. And I thought, hey, it'd be cool to get a couple of matching koozies. Fucking sold out. So if you're selling out your merch at this point in time on a beer that you're promoting, I don't think, to say that it had nothing to do with politics, I don't buy that for a second. I think if he would have come out in Texas, if he'd have come out here in Florida, hell, if he'd have come out in New York, he would have gotten a rousing ovation. And I hope they give him another chance to do it in a red state, or a blue, what am I saying? A red state. Just to see that you picked a really bad demographic. And the way he responded to those boos was awkward as fuck.
I mean, I could see your point there. If they'd have waited till this week, being where they were at this week, as
they
opposed
were in San Diego, it wouldn't have been any better.
I
You're
thought
still
they
in
were
California.
Texas.
They weren't. They were in San Diego last night. Bailey's hometown.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it wouldn't have done no good.
I thought they
They
were in
should have
Texas.
just waited it out. Prime time. You can watch the Penta match, man. Just like I said, Daily Motion. It wasn't very good, by the way. I did not. What do you think of Penta's debut?
I thought it was 10 times better than what they had him doing in.
Oh, well, come on, man. There's no bar to even set there. I'm just saying, as an overall match on the WWE program, making your debut, what did you think of the match?
I thought it was good. I thought it was a good
1 to 10
debut. 8.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Because to me, watching him in the ring with Chad Gable was like watching him back in Lucha Underground.
So I had a hard time getting past the first 4 minutes because the number of botches were just getting them unbelievable. He tried doing a springboard off the bottom rope. That failed. He looked very awkward with his timing in the first 3 to 4 minutes. Couldn't quite get matched up.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. It's going to take him a little bit because I think he's used to of course, AEW, you've got to go 100 miles a fucking hour in every goddamn match. Whereas here, they're going to try to slow it down some. So is it going to take him a little time to get used to the style? Absolutely. But for what it was and for the content of the match, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great debut. And I was okay with it. And not only that, Chad Gable, the man.
It was a good match. Once it got going.
Yeah.
Once you got past the 4 minute mark, the other half of it wasn't terrible. And Gable did do a tremendous job, I thought.
Yeah. I mean, the Mexican Destroyer. He sold that like he'd been shot.
He stuck his head right into there. I had echoes in my memory of Jim Cornette going, "He's dead."
Yeah, exactly. I was like, and then he kicked out. I was like, oh, because that to me, I could have seen that as being the finish to the match, because of Gable and how the man is great in the ring. He may never be a champion, but he's one of those wrestlers that we've grown up watching who can make anybody else look fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I just hate to see them Dolph Ziggler him. It's like he needs to, at some point in time, get some sort of gold, especially if they're doing this Team Angle thing with him that they're doing now. They even got the "You Suck" chants going on the intro music. So, what's up, Corey? No, they ain't gonna bury his ass with all that promo that they've done. And I like Michael Cole. The worst kept secret. It wasn't a fucking secret, man. It's like they pretty much showed you the friggin' promo the week before that it was going to be him.
Well, yesterday morning, they had his masks for sale on shop.com.
Yeah, they're happy about the sales.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Apparently the numbers are pretty good.
Yeah. Because if I didn't have the issues I had in the past with Fanatics, I would go and buy one of the masks. I would drop $75 right now and get it. But I won't deal with Fanatics anymore. So unfortunately, that's that. But
there's no mask in the world that I pay $75 for.
Now the next thing they need to get out is his gloves, because they put out a set of those gloves that say what his catchphrase is on them. You'll see them all through the arenas and stuff, especially when he does this whole 3 fingers and down and
zero, middle, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Neil Hooper thought it was an epic match again. I saw there was a post on Twitter saying, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think of his premiere? And the overwhelming majority were rating 6 and 7 out of 10. And it only went to 7 out of 10 for me because of the last half of the match was so much better. I'll tell you something else. If he keeps on doing the shit he did there, he won't be wrestling by WrestleMania. Some of the falls he took and things he did to himself, I mean, you can't do that on a night in, night out. You just can't. Miracle, what's happening? WWE lets Penta run his own way. I'm telling you, he'll make it. Just hope that they don't restrain him.
I don't think
I've never liked that arm breaker. What's that?
I said, I don't think they'll restrain him. I think they'll say, like you said, hey, this was your debut. Okay, we'll let you take the bump you did on the apron. We'll let you do this. But again, you're not going to do that crazy shit like in AEW every night. But again, I watched him in Mexico. I watched him in Lucha Underground. He has so much more to his repertoire than just that high risk shit. And I think
Lucha Underground was 10 years ago. Now he's been taking these bumps all that long time. So I don't know what he's got left in him.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I've seen him do other stuff, and I think we're going to get to see more of that style of him than, all the crazy stuff.
Well, time will tell, I guess. I'll tell you, there were 2 matches on the night that stood out to me. The one, I'll save the best for last, but the one that I was surprised that I wasn't disgusted with was Finn Balor and Damian Priest in the street fight.
Right.
Which I feel like we've had a lot of street fights lately. I mean, you can call it the Samoan whatever thing it was, the Family Ruins or whatever. I don't know fucking name they put it, but it's a street fight.
Right.
And this one, as tired as I think we all are of Finn Balor and Damian Priest, if you're going to finally write this thing off and put it to bed, that's about as good a way as doing it as you're going to get.
No, I agree. Yeah, I think it was a very well put together match. They had the Falcon Arrow off of the seating area. I thought that looked freaking fantastic. And then the whole let's take Finn off on a stretcher and Damian going, no, this is not going to end this way, So I really enjoyed that match. Also, I think for me, Penta and that match were my top matches of the night. Although I did enjoy Dakota and Lyra, I just wish they would have went just a little bit longer.
So for me, that was the match of the night. I can't even imagine anything topping that one. I've always been a Dakota fan. I've always liked Lyra since the day she came in. I always felt Dakota wasn't quite there. It's like she was good enough to be there.
Right.
But I never felt like she was good enough to get to that next level until last night. That was hands down her best match that I've ever seen. And I'd watch her anyway, even if I didn't expect it to be a great match. I just like her. You know, she's a very likable person.
Well, it's like I told you when we were messaging back and forth. To me, last night reminded me of Dakota when she won the NXT title. So for me, I'm like, that's the Dakota I've been waiting to see. And I think she's going to keep putting on these matches. And I'll tell you, probably between now and WrestleMania, they'll run it back. And if they give them a little more time, man, it'll be phenomenal.
I would definitely love to see them do it again. One of the things I think I mentioned to you last night, and I've said it on this program, I don't know how many times, I am sick and tired of everything has to be bad guy versus good guy.
Yeah.
Sick of it.
Yep.
And damn, if they didn't prove my point, you didn't have to have a backstory. You didn't have to have, I mean, they had their own thing about, you know, I've been doing this for this many years and this is my chance and I've been waiting for you. That's fine. But it wasn't a matter of you stole my boyfriend, you slept with my father, you did none of that shit.
It was
two fucking wrestled.
Their story was, we went through all of this to get to this point, and I want this belt more than you. I want to be the first.
Yep.
And even Dakota said it in a backstage interview that I saw. She's like, yes, I wanted to be the first women's Intercontinental Champion. Did I get it? No. But don't think that title's not still in my crosshairs. And I'm like, ooh, yes.
I mean, the match was just smooth as glass. I didn't see, I'm sure there was a miss here or there. And there was a couple of moments where they were kind of like off a step. But it was so few and far between. And as much as I can't tell you, I'm trying to think back. And I can't come up with an answer. Of any wrestling match in 40 years of watching this stuff where I had any sort of conflict amongst myself as to who I wanted to win. Right. I've always pretty much either not given a shit about neither one of y'all, or I had my favorite I want to win. That's it.
Right.
It's never been, fuck, I want both of them to win. The closest thing I can remember is when the Steiners went up against Sting and Luger at Super Brawl. But even then, I think I wanted the Steiners to go over.
Right.
But that's like the only thing I can remember even remotely close. This was totally different. I fucking wanted both of them to come away with a win somehow. As the match kept going on, the more I wanted that. It's like, have a double pin. Nobody gets the belt tonight. Fuck everybody.
And I think that's what made the match that much better, was because I was the same way. It's like, I love where Lyra's come from and how she's this. And then I've also like looking at Dakota going, I've watched you since you were in NXT and and so I was the same way. It's like, there was something about each of them. And I'm like, oh my God, whoever wins, I'm going to be happy, but I'm also going to be disappointed because the other one didn't win. So I agree with you on that. But to me, that made the match a little more exciting for me because I'm like, oh, who's it going to be? And
I was 99% sure it was going to be Lyra. I just feel like she's the up and comer. She's, I can't say the younger talent. I mean, I think she may be a little bit younger, but that's not, not a 10-year difference. Excuse me. Real American beer, brother. That shit's for real. I was just damn. Why couldn't I do that last week when I was
only on WrestleChat?
So yeah, man, she took that fucking suplex off the apron.
Yep.
I was watching, and then when that moment happened, I was kind of getting a little tired and all that. And as soon as that moment hit, I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like wide awake now, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" They put on a fucking show, and to me, I felt like it was. I'm hearing like it went 10 minutes, and I was like, it felt longer than 10 minutes to me, not in a bad way. It just felt like, and a lot of people are saying, like what you said, I wish it went a little longer. I thought they did a great job with the time they had. It didn't feel like it was rushed to me at all.
No, I agree, but I think if they 10 minutes, I think if they'd had 15, we'd have got to see a few more nice move sets and stuff. And I don't know. To me, I guess maybe it did need to be longer, but for me, I was just kind of, maybe I wanted more. That's why I wanted it longer. I wanted to see more of them wrestling each other. And to me,
can I have some more?
Exactly. Yes. Because not for nothing, both of them aren't that hard on the eyes either. So, I mean.
No, obviously. I mean, they don't do they have any ugly? I mean, Nia's not ugly. She's just it's just a lot of her. She does have a nice face. I mean, but once you pan down. Neil Hooper liked it, said it wasn't bad. I'm Neil, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it's better than not bad. I thought it was damn good. A very fitting match for the first Intercontinental Championship, too. Commentary team briefly brought up the fact that they fought each other in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Then Lyra won that. You know what? I missed that part. I guess I wasn't paying close attention.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's a good. Speaking of commentators, that was one of the other things I wanted to touch on. Did you happen to see Corey Graves' tweet?
Yes, I did, and I'll be watching NXT tonight because he said he's got a lot of shit to say.
We know what this is going, though, right?
Oh, of course. WrestleMania. Commentator versus commentator.
Yep, exactly. Not well hidden at all. Boy, the WWE has to figure out a way. Here's the thing. You put Penta promos and stuff all over the WWE.com page, so everybody knew it was Penta. You have now plastered Alexa Bliss is going to be, she's with us again. Why would you tell people this? Let her just show up at the fucking Rumble. Now we know she's showing up at the Rumble.
Yeah, it's not like they won't put asses in the seats anyways.
Yeah, and it's not like Alexa's return's going to sell that many tickets. And I love the girl, don't get me wrong, but she's not a ticket seller.
She is for me.
Well, like I said, there's a very small portion of people that are paying their hard-earned money just to see Alexa Bliss.
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm a mark for all my hometown people. That's why, like Bliss and to even an extent Logan Paul. I mean, The Miz, just people that's from here.
The Miz actually got in the ring last night for the first time in how long?
That's true.
Miracle wants to see the Corey Pat match. It probably will be good. Just God bless Corey. The fact that he's going to get back in the ring again, because I hated the way his career got ended.
Well, see, and that's the thing that's got me excited about is like I again loved Corey Graves down in NXT, promising fucking career ahead of him.
Yep.
And
what happened?
Yes, absolutely. And to actually going to get to see him step back in the ring, even though it will be against Pat McAfee, I'm there for it.
Well, unless they fuck this up as well, which they may very well do. You have these two guys going at Mania. You have a clutch moment where it looks like Pat's about to put it away, hits the ropes, and all of a sudden from under the ring, somebody grabs his ankle. Carmella.
Oh, yeah. Because they've been talking. I've heard rumors about her being almost ready to come back also.
Wait for Mania. Have her come out from under the apron, man. and she can borrow that outfit from Tessa Blanchard with the ski mask and all that shit. Actually, that's exactly how they should do it. Get the exact same outfit Tessa wore. Come out with a mask. Let people wonder, because they have that cross promotion going. Let people wonder if it's Tessa Blanchard for a minute. Neil Hooper, Charlotte to return at the Rumble. Charlotte's definitely returning at the Rumble. There's no possibility about it. Again, that's the problem. There's no secrets. Guys, you don't have to tell us who's signing. You know they signed. Let us find out by surprise. Otherwise, what's the point in us watching the product if there's no fucking surprises? I just can't watch Sheamus. I just can't. Nothing against the guy. I know he's cool. I'm sure we'd run into a bar and have some beers and have a fucking great conversation. I'm just, man, I remember him going against John Cena and Cena calling him a big old jar of mayonnaise, and that was like 20 years ago. And granted, with his size, it's going to give him a little bit more longevity. You know, his body could take a pounding better. He's also been out for how many months with injury, so he's been, you know, getting back into some better condition, you know, physically with that. But, yeah, I just, I have a hard time with watching the man. Did you watch his match, Jay? Oh, you're back to being silent again. God damn it. Fix your shit. No, I got nothing. Keep telling you to stop pulling your cord.
How about now?
Yeah, now just stay like that. It's like the old days with TV. You had hold the antenna and have one leg lifted off the ground, and that's it. Just you can't move.
Yeah, the leg's not coming off the ground. I'm sorry. That's just not happening. No, I mean,
say never.
The Sheamus match was good, but again, for me, it's like I've seen it. That's
the thing. I mean, there's nothing for him to do that I haven't seen. And to me, it wouldn't even matter if like he went to AEW or some other place. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah. I guess.
I mean, of course, if you go to AEW, no one's going to see you at all anyway. So what's the difference?
Right. I mean, I wish they'd just let him get the belt so it can be done. I hate to say that.
Who?
Sheamus.
What belt?
The Intercontinental title. It's the only title he's never held in WWE. Ever. That's why this is a whole big thing.
I guess.
But if I was going to do it, I'd let Sheamus take it at Saturday night's main event, and then 2 weeks later have Braun show up in the Rumble saying, well, I don't have this belt, so I'm going to kick everybody's ass in the Rumble. And because we all know they're pushing him to.
Yeah, but they just had Braun lose the Intercontinental title and then win it back. I don't think you want to make a habit of that. And I still think he needs to hold that belt for a while. He's not. When I say he's not ready for the next one, from a sales standpoint, not that he physically isn't.
Right.
But so far as selling tickets, he's not at that level yet.
No.
He'll be there.
Oh, yeah, he's on his way, but I agree with that. I'm just saying you either got to pull the trigger and let Sheamus win this title, or just make it to the point where Sheamus goes, this is the one I'll never have. I mean, you can't keep every 6 months have Sheamus pop out of the woodwork going, I want the title I've never won. It's just kind of old.
Hearing CM Punk call out Cena in the beginning of the program.
Yeah.
My first thought was, okay, that'd be kind of cool. And then I'm thinking, but we've already seen that. No pun intended. And then Seth comes out, and I'm like, God, no, not again. But I got to give Seth credit, man. That was one of the best promos I've ever seen him cut. And that one line where he said, and I'll get it as close to accurate as possible, I'd rather be the worst version of myself than the best version of CM Punk any day.
No, he said any version. Any version.
Than any version of CM Punk. See, I told you I get it as close as possible.
That's all right.
I just thought that was like, fuck you.
Really, the three of them, when Drew came out and he started saying all that shit, and then Punk shot back at Drew, and Drew's like, it's not always all about you. I was actually referring to Seth. I was like, oh, that's nice. That was a nice little twist there.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
No, because I thought he was going to run his mouth about Punk again. And that's what everybody thought. And then he's like, no, I was actually referring to Seth. We all know you're an asshole.
Fact.
But you're okay with it.
Sheamus has spinal stenosis.
Really?
So how the hell is he wrestling?
Mm-hmm.
Is Cena winning the Rumble? Ooh.
I don't think so.
Oh, well, let me tell you why I say yes. Not that I really think he is, but I mean, if I'm making that argument, Cody's without a real opponent. They've pretty much made it clear that Cody is not going up against The Rock. They've scrapped that, which is good. It wasn't going to work. And what the fuck, people? If I'm not answering you, there's a reason. Let me turn the fucking volume off on this thing. These motherfuckers can't do two things by themselves. I take the day off yesterday. It's the only day I'm going to have for 14 days because of this event going on at work. And I bring two other managers from other accounts in just to babysit. And they still fuck up everything and try and call me. Oh, I called you. I turned the damn phone off, man. You all fucking can't take care of yourselves? I just leave them to the fucking sharks now. If you're that stupid, fucking die. Where were we before I was so rudely interrupted?
Why you think Cena will win?
Because Cena and Cody is WrestleMania. Cena, will he break the 16, the Ric Flair record, and become the only 17-time world champion? That sells tickets, buddy. That's The Rock and Hollywood Hogan.
Okay, if I'm going to make the argument for Cena winning, I would go the opposite way, though. Instead of Cody, I would have Cena go after Gunther.
No, that's not the ticket.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Gunther's got the second title. He's got the B brand title. Cody has the WWE Lineage Heavyweight Championship, World Championship.
Yeah, but I don't.
Undisputed. Gunther's got a belt that they handed him a few months ago.
I know, but to me, I'd rather see that match than Cena and Cody. As much as I liked face versus face with Dakota and Lyra, I have nothing that I really want to see with Cody and Cena because there's going to be some fucking shenanigans somewhere and it's not going to be a clean win. And it's just, whereas with Gunther, Cena can say, he took me to the limit. He is one of the greatest of all time and blah, 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 blah. But Gunther still retains.
Yeah. I just don't see it selling a ticket. I really don't. I mean, Gunther can definitely have a match that'll be worth watching. It just isn't with Cena. Not to mention his style of wrestling. Cena's supposed to have a year-long goodbye tour. It may end up at Mania because Gunther, he's a stiff motherfucker.
Yeah.
And Cena's not Cena that he used to be.
Well, no, that
I just think him and Cody. You got the generations with him and Cody. You got the 17-time world champion, and why would he go for the second best title? It just makes no sense.
Okay, well then, if you're going to do that, Cena's going to lose to Cody because
Why?
Randy's going to interfere and set up.
He
a
might
match.
interfere and cost Cody the match.
Either
Because
way,
you got to set up an Orton Cody match.
well, that's fine. I mean, if you want to set up Orton and Cody, that's fine. Or you can set up Orton and Cena because they're going to wrestle each other before the year's out.
I wouldn't be. Here's my again. I wouldn't put any money on this, but I will not be the least bit shocked. Cena wins the Rumble, defeats Cody with probably some shenanigans of some sort, and I can definitely see RKO coming out of nowhere. It looks like it's going to be on Cena, but instead it's on Cody. And then those two go into a feud. Cena holds the belt for a couple of months, like Hogan did when he got his last run, until he lost it to The Undertaker when he beat Triple H. It'll be very similar to that. He'll have it for a couple of months. He'll have that 17 time. He's the official most ever heavyweight championships guy, and in one promotion, no less.
Right.
And then he'll drop it to somebody. Maybe it'll be Orton. And then Cody goes after Orton. The money's in the chase.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, I feel very confident that he's going to face Cody at WrestleMania. I just think that's the main event of night one, at least, if not night two. I mean, what main event do you have that's going to be better than that for night two? Exactly. And they don't have enough time to make a better main event, man. If it isn't brewing by now. And that's part of the problem, too. I mean, he ended half of these feuds 7 days ago.
Yeah.
Well, now they're all kind of starting from scratch. And then you got 2 nights worth of programming to come up with.
Okay, well then.
PS3 says, will The Rock wrestle at Mania? I say, do bear shit in the woods.
It'll be him and Roman. Because we ain't seen the.
No, I get it. And they're at a point now where they just feel like listen, we've been fucking with this thing for 5 years, man. Just do it. But now I don't know about anybody else. I don't give a fuck anymore. It's been too long gone. I just don't give a shit.
Well, let them do it, get it out of their system, and be done.
KO might intervene. That's another good possibility.
Well, okay. Going with that, Neil. KO comes out to take out Cody, or we think it's going to be, or take out Cena, or however it's going to play out. And then Randy comes out, takes out KO, but then also RKO's Cody.
All I'm saying is Cena's going to end up getting that 17 title. There's so much money in that. I mean, he's doing his farewell tour. Now he's the champion, and leading up to he's going to make it to the next WrestleMania and defend the championship, and then, go off into the sunset as a champion 17 times. There's so much money in that.
Well, the problem with that is he won't go to the next WrestleMania unless you're talking about.
Well, no, he probably won't. But the idea is that.
Well, no, he said. Well, no, he said his last match will be in December. He will not go past December.
All right, so whatever December. All right, yeah, because January would start the new year. Okay, fair enough. Either way, you're going to have months and months of Cena's farewell, my last time in this city, and I'm defending world champion.
I could see him. Okay, I could see him winning it at WrestleMania and defending it up till SummerSlam and losing it at SummerSlam to somebody, and then have the last few months of him feuding with whoever cost him the title.
Orton has to get back at Owens first. Yeah, I mean, maybe. All right, fine. So maybe Owens is the one that does the run-in.
Right.
Hits Cody with a stunner, costs him the match. Referee's down, Cena's down. Cena didn't see what happened.
Covers, pins. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I think he is going to win the Rumble. I'm probably wrong. I won't put any money on it.
Or if we want to overbook the match, we can do it this way.
What do you think this
Kevin
is,
comes
AEW?
Well, look at how Cody won the title. If that wasn't a fucking overbooked match last year, Jesus Christ.
That was one match, and let's be honest, every one of those fucking things was a massive pop.
I know it was, but I'm just saying. Okay, so Kevin comes out, goes to stun, or he stuns. How do I want to put this? He goes to stun Cody. Randy comes out to intervene, goes to RKO Kevin. Kevin moves. He RKOs Cody by mistake. They get out of the ring and start fighting off somewhere. And we go with your scenario. Cena doesn't know what happens, covers Cody and wins. And now Cody's pissed at Randy because really laughing at my scenario.
No, that was booing.
Oh, well, that's even
booing.
worse.
Because the fans weren't happy that Cody lost.
Oh, well, you know. Not that he's really done much with this title reign, and that disappoints me because
That ain't his fault. Who's the fucking booker around this place?
I understand that. I'm not saying it is his fault. I'm just saying, as hard as I was one of the ones who pushed for him to win it, I've been kind of disappointed with his booking since then.
Yeah, they've definitely not done a good job by this guy in my book when it comes to putting him in good matches and good feuds so far. The good news is they put him with all the people I never would have put him with, so now maybe they're running out of people where they got to put him with the right people.
Right.
All
Although
right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Damn it.
Well, let me tell everybody something. America is back. 2024 was a great year. And in 2025, we made the decision to make America great again. In what better way? With real American beer. We're bringing America back together in 2025 with real American beer. So what you gonna do when real American beer and all my Hulkamaniacs run wild on you?
Got to get you some.
I'm working on it.
I got to the point where I might buy a 4-pack of Tall Boys that would last me a week and a half easy, sometimes even longer. And now I'm fucking drinking 2 to 3 of these a day, which is not good. I've definitely got to curb this new habit, but I like this shit. All right, there was one other thing I was going to share. Jay has already seen all this. And some of you, if you're following on Twitter X, may have seen it too. Found this at Walmart the other day, and I was like, holy shit, check this out. Now, this, if you've heard the story I've told here before, this was from the Royal Rumble that happened here in Orlando, where he and the Ultimate Warrior had that little momentary showdown with the double clothesline and all that good shit. And I was a massive Warrior fan at that point. I had the war paint on, the whole 9 yards. And when Hogan won the match, I was pissed. And I was only about 7 rows up. Came running down to ringside at the end. I'm on camera. And I'm holding my Ultimate Warrior sign up. And Hogan, you suck. And I'm yelling my ass off at. And I don't think he had picked up this sign yet from this other fan who had a big bed sheet. Right? I don't think he had picked it up yet. But he saw me when he does his little, thing to the ear, and he was pointing right at me. It was like, fuck you. And, got his little cheers going, all that. Whoever decided to show up in Orlando that night with this bed sheet with Hulkamania Will Live Forever, right now, you've got to be on cloud 9 to see that they turned your stupid sign into something that's in a collectible wrestling figure package.
Right.
I mean, if I was the guy who made that sign right now, I'm just like crying, looking at that box, thinking, "Oh my God, my sign is in the box! I can't believe it." And I'm wondering, I'm pretty sure he threw it back to him when it was done. And if I'm that guy, that thing got folded up nice and neat, and it's in a closet somewhere because fuck, it's history.
Yeah,
everyone saw Hulk Hogan hold my sign.
Yep.
And if it still exists, it needs to get into the archives of the WWE somehow. By the way, I picked up that figure at Walmart. I was going for something else, and I always stop by just to see if there's anything there. And that was the only one that was there. The box is not in good condition, but as you can see, he's already out of the box. There's some banging up and shit going on there. But yeah, I was very happy with that. Yeah, Miracle, that's my whole point. It is one of those moments that we're all going to remember. I'd be curious to know if the fan who made that sign still has, like I said, it was a big old bed sheet. Yeah, and that's one of the weird things, too, because they've been, like with Saturday night's main event, they didn't show any Hulk Hogan stuff in the promo for it.
You're right.
And that's by design. And it's like, fucking Hulk Hogan was Saturday night's main event. How the hell do you not show highlights of him? His action figures are selling. This was the only one, by the way, there. It wasn't like there was 20 of them on the shelf and people said, I'm not buying that racist thing.
Fucking clown.
Actually, I think the funnier part is he probably had some of his DNA on there and Hogan's handling it. Either that or he took it home, put it on his bed, and started doing wacky things. Him rubbing all over it, trying to get the scent like a dog.
Oh, Hogan.
Hogan touched my bed stuff. It's weird. I'm really wondering what happened to that sign. Oh, Lordy. All right. Well, that's kind of what I was thinking about. Again, the 2 nights of Raw in the book right now. Week 2 was definitely better than week 1. I think most people agree with that.
The other thing I liked about it was last night was I'm watching the main event and the fact that it went off after 2.5 hours. I kind of dig that. Because the show didn't feel rushed. Felt like everything that they wanted to get in got in. And they didn't have to push it to 3 hours because they had to. Or they had to cut so much out to make it only 2 hours. So if this is how it's going to run, I really like the varying length of time for the show. If it warrants,
and that's the whole thing. There's no time limits for it. They can make it 3 hours, 4 hours, or 1 hour, whatever they decide.
Yeah,
can't imagine it ever being less than 2 hours.
Well, no, but what I'm thinking is that they're not in a corner where they have to put out this much content. Whatever their storylines deem necessary is all they have to do. And I think that'll be good because honestly, I don't always want to watch 3 hours of wrestling on a Monday night, but so I did. I liked the 2.5 hours. I thought it was nice.
Yep, I agree.
You're late, D-Train. You should have been here earlier.
D-Train is in the house.
Welcome aboard, D-Train. Even if you are late, it's okay. You're here. I'm working jabroni. Good for you.
Yeah. Oh, so you're listening at work. Okay, gotcha.
Getting paid to listen to the chat. That's good.
Yeah. I
See,
can get
Trump's
paid for
not
that.
even in office yet, and we're already getting paid subscribers. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, like I said, that's about all I had for this one. In case anyone else is out there that doesn't have Netflix and all that kind of stuff, and you do want to watch the stuff, I don't know if this is going to show up on camera or not. It's called Watch Wrestling. Let me see if I can get the... Yeah, no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Nope. But anyway, they got a ton of different stuff too. It's got NXT, Raw, AEW is on there, UFC is on there, New Japan is on there, SmackDown, Ring of Honor, TNA, all that shit's on there. New Japan World New Year Dash, whatever the fuck that was, Collision, AEW versus New Japan, and NJPW Wrestle. So they got a little bit of everything.
No Stardom? Bastards.
No Stardom, no MLW. But still plenty to be had there. And that's what like I said, I'll watch them the day after, or not even the day after, hours after the program goes off. And it's like, watch. And that's pretty much the way I was watching it anyway. I didn't watch it live anymore. I got tired of sitting there for 3 hours, so I would just fast forward through shit. Now I'm right back to it. All right, well, we're going to call it a stream and move on along with our day. Thank you all for joining us here in the chat as we talk about the Monday Night Raw. There's been a lot going on in wrestling, so I'll probably be doing a little bit more of this, getting back into the groove here slowly but surely. And in the meantime, everybody have a great day. You know, it's that time. And say goodbye, Jay.
Goodbye, Jay.
Goodbye, everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you right back here on the Nation Network for more WrestleChat. Actually watched a little bit of AEW, not a lot. Just enough to remind me why I don't watch it. Oh, this is already funny. Just the headline. The list of moves and actions that are now banned from AEW or need to be approved by the company.
Maybe that's why Nash is pissed off, because he went for Brock and Austin and not try to duplicate him.
Well, it'd be easier to duplicate him. You only have to learn 5 moves.
Like you said, and we've all been saying, Tony Khan, you need a hierarchy, and he gets one, and then we make fun of it.
Because he's sitting back there talking about the Brock match, and it's finally we had a wrestling match. Finally, we got 2 guys telling a story. They weren't outside in the ring the whole time. One of them
Was he not watching the same match as we were?
Yeah, those games, man, I would say, like, for me, like, the best ones, I would say, are, like, the ones where they try to get a certain, like, time.
This is my entire IT team right here on screen, everybody.